Hello and welcome to this very short video on how to set up a basic Android Studio project. What I'll do in the next video is go through obviously functionality, but today I just want to do the configuration of one. So if you have Android Studio downloaded, grand and fine, but also I'm also going to be using Genymotion Device Manager, but not necessarily now, at a later point. And I will show you that if you're missing Genymotion Device Manager, how to set it up, but I would suggest downloading it. So first things first, okay, is that in order to create a new project, go to File and go to New and go to New Project. Okay, now this first screen will come up, and obviously it is the type of project you want to set up. Now you can have it in such a way that you can modify the code of any of them to include any of the aspects of, let's just put it this way, that you wanted a map. But you started off with, okay, a basic activity. That is fine. We can do that. But if we click on basic activity, one of the more basic ones, and click on next, the next important point here is that where are we going to save it? Okay. So if I go here to save location, and obviously what I want to do is go into either Android projects or whatever, but the more important point, if you know that you're going to be saving into a lot of things, what I would suggest is create a new folder, okay, C drive, and let's just say basic project. Now I'm keeping it all one word because two words can confuse things. So if I click on that there, and the name of your application, and because it's going to be simple ratings bar, I'm just going to call it that. Now before I leave this screen, there is a very important setting here. The language obviously is obvious enough. We're going to be using Java, but if you want to use Kotlin, you can. But this option here is typically overlooked. It can be changed, and it will tell you that it needs to be changed, but the minimum SDK, in other words software development kit, that you're going to be, needs to be compatible with your phone or your emulator. And in this case here I've selected API 26. Now the notion of this is as follows, is that what release of Android is going to be at least the minimum. Okay, so what it's saying here is that that it's backward compatibility. Now if I click on, let's just say, Marshmallow, you can see here that your app will be able to run on approximately 84.9 devices. In other words, the further back you go, the more functionality will be there, because a lot of the functionality has been deprecated at this stage. In other words, it's been written away. But what I will do is that I'll just go back up to 26 and leave it at that. And if I click on finish, okay, and you can see it's running away, and you can see now here, okay, the important points to take from this are, obviously you can see here that basic rating bars is the thing, and the is the project name, I should say. But the most important thing here is that because I selected a basic activity, it would have brought in all of the inherited objects that I would have needed. So we can see here public class main activity extends appcom at activity. Now I'm going to go through this in more detail later, but basically an activity is a class. Okay, it's a program that represents a screen. One activity is one screen. So if you wanted to work across 2 or 3 activities, they would be, you know what I mean, several activities there. And a fragment is a part of that screen. Now that will be stored there under the Java folder. Under the manifests folder is the basic, all the settings of that stored in an XML file. In the resources folder then you've got such things as drawable, but the more important thing here is the layout, which I'll be dealing with in the second video, and the notion of the relationship between the XML and your file and my Java. Okay, now this is a very basic video, and I'll keep to that extent. But the next video now, I will implement a small bit of code using and link that to a ratings bar that I will place in my app. Okay, now if you wanted to see your app, okay, if I click there on activity main, okay, you can see there that that's the basis of it, and that's your editor that will do that, and we will be looking at that in due time. So until the next time, I bid you adieu. I'll put down a few the main settings here in a few notes as we do. Okay, thank you, and talk to you in the next video.